Under the leadership of Julius Caesar, Rome reached pinnacles of greatness that manifested not only in architecture, culture, and art, but also at the dining table. As the cobblestones echoed with the march of legions and senators debated in the forum, the daily life of ordinary citizens unfolded with its unique rituals and routines. At the heart of this routine was, undoubtedly, food. While these citizens may not have indulged in the luxuries of the patricians, they had their distinct culinary traditions that encapsulated the essence of Roman life. Their dishes, crafted from basic yet nourishing ingredients, were the daily sustenance that fueled the vast city's populace. Now, let's immerse ourselves in a typical day in the life of an average Roman citizen, exploring the dishes that define their diet and, in many ways, their very identity. An average Roman's day began with the Ientaculum, or breakfast. The undisputed star of this meal was bread. Often crafted from barley or a coarser quality wheat, this bread could be unleavened or slightly fermented. Its straightforward flavor and sturdy texture made it the staple food that powered the day's activities. Alongside the bread, porridge, known as pulse, provided a nutritious addition. Made from barley or wheat, this porridge could be seasoned with a pinch of salt or, if fortune allowed, with dried figs, lending a sweet start to the day. Instead of wine, which was a common beverage in Rome, the humble often opted for pure water or a diluted vinegar mix, known as posca, to quench their thirst. By midday, the prandium, or lunch, arrived. Another serving of bread took center stage, often spread with meritum, a delightful paste made from garlic, cheese, olive oil, and herbs, enhancing the basic bread's flavor and richness. Boiled or roasted vegetables, such as cabbages and onions, added vitamins and variety to the meal, while fruits, like apples or figs, provided a sweet conclusion to lunch if available. Dinner was the day's main meal and tended to be the most diverse. A comforting legume soup, made with lentils, chickpeas, or beans and seasoned with local herbs, warmed both body and soul. Bread remained an essential side, perfect for dipping in the soup or drizzling with olive oil. Though not common, salted or preserved fish might occasionally grace the table, offering protein and a unique flavor to the menu. Steamed or boiled vegetables, like spinach or turnips, rounded off the meal with their earthy freshness. And for a drink, posca was once again the popular choice, refreshing and tart, the ideal end to the day. Meat was not a daily staple for most, especially among the everyday citizens. But when meat was consumed, the most common sources were pork, lamb, and poultry. Pork stood out for its versatility and taste. Almost every part of the animal was utilized, from chops to sausages and cured ham. Lamb was also cherished, often reserved for special occasions or religious celebrations. Birds, such as chickens, ducks, and geese, were more accessible choices and were typically raised in urban backyards and rural farms. Surprisingly, beef was rarely consumed in ancient Rome, and there were several reasons for this. Firstly, raising cattle for meat was a costly investment in terms of time and resources. Oxen were invaluable as working animals, used for plowing fields and transporting goods, so slaughtering them for meat wasn't economically wise. They were more valued for their labor during their lives than for their meat at their end. However, their leather was highly prized for crafting military attire. Moreover, in a densely populated city like Rome, raising large numbers of cattle was impractical due to the vast space and pasture they required. In certain Roman traditions and festivals, oxen were sacrificed as offerings to the gods. These sacrifices were ceremonial, and the meat wasn't always consumed afterward. In the lavish villas and grand palaces, a patrician's life unfolded in a backdrop of magnificence and refinement. These Roman elites not only enjoyed political sway and material wealth, but also indulged in the most exquisite culinary pleasures the Roman Empire had to offer. While the common folks found sustenance in staple foods, the patricians embarked on true culinary journeys, where each meal was a celebration of abundance and sophistication. For a patrician, food wasn't merely a necessity but a display of status and culture. The freshest and rarest ingredients were sourced from the empire's farthest corners, from exotic spices to fish and seafood from distant waters. Chefs and cooks were often masters of their craft, bringing innovative techniques and recipes to the tables of the affluent. In this luxury-filled setting, a patrician's daily menu mirrored their standing in Roman society. A patrician's day began with breakfast, or Ientaculum. Instead of the common bread consumed by the masses, patricians savored fine wheat white bread. This soft, high-quality bread was often paired with honey or jam, adding a sweet start to the day. Fresh fruits like figs, grapes, and dates were a regular treat, offering a burst of flavor and freshness. Cheese, chosen from the finest varieties, was frequently served with herbs or honey, and breakfast was completed with a mild wine, diluted with water and flavored with herbs or spices, setting the patrician up for the day ahead. The famed Julius Caesar had a fondness for cheese with honey and nuts. The prandium, or lunch, was a lighter but no less elegant meal. It began with a fresh salad of lettuce, cucumbers, radishes, and other seasonal vegetables, delicately dressed with extra virgin olive oil, vinegar, and herbs. Eggs, whether scrambled or boiled, were prepared with herbs for added flavor. Fresh, top-notch fish was either roasted or grilled and served with sauces crafted from olive oil, herbs, and spices. And, of course, a quality wine, possibly flavored, accompanied this feast. Dinner was the day's most grandiose culinary event. It commenced with a starter of bird or fish pate, spread on fine bread. A hearty poultry or lamb soup warmed the stomach and prepped the palate for what lay ahead. The main course could consist of game meat, exquisite birds like pheasant or duck, or even more exotic meats. These meats were cooked in rich, intricate sauces with wine, honey, and spices. Sides included vegetables cooked in olive oil, garlic, and herbs, and legume dishes like lentils or chickpeas. The ideal ending to this opulent meal was a dessert, sweet cakes made with fruits, nuts, and honey, or fresh fruits dipped in sweet wine. And to round off the evening, the finest quality wine, often from specific regions known for their vineyards, was served in elegant goblets, celebrating life's richness and splendor. We cannot forget the lavish feasts and bacchanals. These festivities, in honor of Bacchus, the god of wine and ecstasy, were renowned for their wildness and liberty. Music, dance, wine, and carnal delights intertwined in a celebration transcending the mundane. While bacchanals were popular among many Romans, they reached their zenith and utmost expression of extravagance during Nero's reign, an emperor whose love for art and spectacle took these celebrations to unprecedented heights. But the mysteries, intrigues, and excesses surrounding Nero and his infamous parties, well, that's another story that deserves its own telling. I hope you've enjoyed this journey through history and flavors. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to not miss any episodes of our adventures. Your support enables us to continue bringing captivating stories and unforgettable moments. And if you're eager for more, check out our other videos. There's always something new and thrilling awaiting you on Tales from History.